Hi, it's Sin. Welcome to the Pre-Patch Podcast. You maybe want to check out the patch notes since you guys aren't here live watching it, or I don't know, downloading our stuff or listening to us everywhere. I mean, one of the best podcasts on the freaking internet, for God's sake. Let's talk about who unfortunately will not. This is a terrible transition. It's kind of a dick move, but who will not have a foreseeable future is unfortunately the staff for Dragon Age.
Harsh.
Sorry,
Specifically the quality assurance staff. So this game's going to come out a piece of shit.
Yeah. So
ahead,
the biggest thing with that is like they formed a union to kind of fight against what was some of the unfair workforce or workplace conditions that were happening, which we talked about in the past. Like obviously game development is a rough space when it comes to like the littler portions of your development teams, like the Q&A staff or the the customer service representatives and everything like that. We've seen countless of times. I mean, I think that Sony just did it recently where they laid off a bunch of Q&A, or was it Q&A staffs, or was it
Sony and
it might have been Microsoft.
You've had a bunch. I don't remember. I mean,
it's been a lot.
They all
but hit. So these guys basically went in and unionized to try and help fight against that, from what I understand. And yeah, fucking Bioware had nothing to do with that. They were just like, nah, I don't think it was Bioware, was it? Was it their
Well, this is Bioware. Bioware, it's according to Polygon's report, states 13 staff are no longer working on Bioware's long-awaited RPG product. So
So the departures follow the layoffs of 50 permanent Bioware staff as well in August, including several veteran team members who had worked on the studio for 20 years, which is huge. That's a long time to work for a studio.
Yeah, just to be laid off. So I don't know if we have an article up for it, but I can't remember what Sony layoffs there were.
I can't remember what it was either.
But I know recently they just laid off 25 Naughty Dog members.
That was it. Yeah, we do have that. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the one thing that I'll say, because again, we talked about getting into this industry, but the one cautionary tale that I will say is be careful, because this is an industry that it fluctuates a lot.
Right.
A lot of these games take a long time and a lot of man hours, and when they're out and they're done, that does not mean that you're going to necessarily move to the next project. And so there's an ebb and flow to the technology sector that is very dangerous, and it sucks to see people lose their job.
There's a lot of layoffs this week too, because Twitch just laid off a bunch of people as well, or not a bunch of people.
Do you still think this is all like post-COVID culling? Like, is it too far past like the shutdowns?
I don't know. This
I don't think
specifically.
I don't think this was. I think that this is. I will say that unions and unionizing companies, or unionizing inside of a company, scares the upper management. There's benefits, but there's also some downfalls. And
very much, yeah.
This is kind of one of those. I'm not saying that this is necessarily, and it could be a complete coincidence as to why these people were laid off. But at the same time, that kind of happens. So, but I will say, I think a majority of what we are still seeing is still, yes, that COVID kind of fallout. I also think that projects are getting done, right? Also, we are in the middle of a recession.
Yeah.
We are in the middle of a recession. Money is tight right now. Every dollar that's spent, and not only do we feel that, but also companies feel that, right? So,
is it global? The recession?
What's up?
Is it a global recession?
I have no idea.
Because I'm not sure. Is BioWare a U.S. company?
I don't think they're owned by Embracer Group. That's not this one.
I think BioWare's a multinational, aren't they? They've got stuff in Canada, stuff in
their headquarters
United
is
States.
in Canada, but they're multinational.
I think this was specifically in Canada, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I will say that also too. They did file 7 of the 50 people that were laid off are filing a lawsuit seeking further compensation from this. So this is leading me to believe more or less this was more of a, not targeted, but kind of targeted. You know what I mean? Like if you're part of the union, if you're unionizing, stuff like that, like the company is going to kind of come after you, unfortunately. So, but I will say that the shining moment of all this is that as much as I see people getting laid off, you also see quite a bit of other companies that are like, hey, like if you are a part of this, like reach out to me. Like I've got open positions. Like the gaming community I will say does a very good job of making sure that they take care of their own as well. So like there's a lot of an outreach to these people that are affected to try to get them into good positions. So that's also
for sure
nice to see. You don't see that in a lot of places. So
still sad to see layoffs though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We've had too many recently too, between a lot
yeah,
of
that's what
companies.
We're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hadn't walked off and discussed, you would have been able to hear the.
Well, if you had read the chat, my nose just started leaking and bleeding everywhere.
Well,
so
no excuse. Fight through it, bro. What are you talking about? Shove a tampon in there and let's keep it going.
Listen, Scruffy, you don't have to take that. This was the dude that was eating ramen noodles on stream, okay?
Exactly, man. You know,
Did you say ramen? What the fuck is a ramen noodle?
It's a Gordon Ramsay noodle.
This is a ramen. Don't try to church it up, bro. It's fucking ramen noodle. So.
Why do I have to say goodbye to him? I already say goodbye to him during the show. Yeah, I don't. When we do this live, I say goodbye. Okay, well, fine. Hey guys, for all you people that are not tuning into us live when we do this on YouTube, and I guess not listening to us on Spotify, right? Like on Spotify. Oh my God. Okay, hey, thanks guys. This is Sin. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll catch you whenever we catch you because you know you're not there live. Bye.